Hey y'all, so I thought for the final preparation video for the Camino, I would show y'all exactly what is in my pilgrimage bag, Camino Edition. So it's going to probably be a little long, so well, I'm sure as you see whenever you clicked on this video, it's a little long, but I think hopefully you'll get some ideas, especially if you're going to go off doing a pilgrimage and you want to take everything with you, if you want to backpack it, if you ever go on the Camino or any other type of pilgrimage for that matter. So anyways, without any further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is some of the stuff that I'm wearing. So like my watch, it's an Apple Watch. These wireless earbuds, they're from Khaki. They're some of my favorites. They got great reviews on Amazon. That's where I got them. You can pick them up there. That's really about it. The only other thing are my shoes. These are Brooks GTS Adrenalines 19. That's just, the model. They go up. But these are going to be my main shoes that I'll be wearing on the Camino. So whenever I was preparing on what bag to wear, what bag to bring for this Camino pilgrimage, I first went and actually used my wife's bag right here. This is from REI. They're not a sponsor. There's no endorsements here. This is just what we picked up years ago for my wife. And the way these camping bags are done is they are based on liter size and the volume that you can put in this bag. So this one is a 40-liter bag. Now, if you go online and you do your research and reviews, they'll tell you over and over again with regards to the Camino, the lighter the bag and the smaller and the least amount that you bring, the better. And I could fit everything in this bag. Here's my biggest problem though, was it was too small for my frame and my body. So whenever I'd put this on, it would sit too high on my shoulders and put all the pressure on my shoulders. And one of the key things that you need when you have a camping bag are these. These are the hip pads that you put on there, and I talked about it in the previous video. The problem was these would sit so far high up, they wouldn't even rest on my hips. They'd be around almost my rib cage, it felt like. So it just was not working. Whenever I was training and practicing with it, I just never liked it. I never liked how it felt, and I was constantly just trying to adjust and not really focused on the miles and prayer. I was more focused on this. So I was like, okay, forget that. So I went with my bag. I will preface right off the bat, it's too big. I wish I had somewhere in between a 40-liter and this behemoth right here. This one is the one that I'm going to be taking. You saw it in my previous video. This one is a 65-liter bag. Again, this one is made from REI, but not a sponsor. You can find whatever brand you like. But as I said, this is a 65. It's just a little too big. I wish I found something in the 50-ish range. So if you ever have something like that, that's what I'd recommend. But the nice thing is it's got plenty of space for days. I've got too much space, as you'll see. All right, so let's kind of go around the side and then I'll get into the main compartment. So right here on this side compartment, I have my 2 passports. I have my Camino passport and I have my US passport. Obviously, if you're traveling overseas internationally, you obviously have to have your passport. And then for the Camino, I have the Camino passport. Again, you can check that out. I believe it's in my history of the Camino video. I'll leave the description up above. You can learn more about this. Now, this isn't going to be the permanent place for it, but I have my tripod, my Joby tripod right here. The camera that I'm bringing is the one that I'm recording. It's my EOS M50 Canon. You guys, I've done plenty of videos on it. It's a great travel camera. It's gonna be my kind of go-to. The other thing that's not in here that I left in the other room is my iPhone. I have an iPhone XR or 10R, whatever you want to call it. So those will be my 2 video type of deals, and one other thing I'll show you in just a second. So the last thing on the outside of the main bag on this hip padding is several little trinkets that I couldn't, it's easier to have on hand. Number 1, hand sanitizer. You definitely want to bring this with you and just have with you at all times for the germs. I've got some gum. for the plane and just to chew on while I am walking. Then I have a pair of Apple earbuds, so in case if my battery dies in my wireless earbuds, I can plug these in because this has the lightning port. I'm not bringing a dongle. I'm not living the dongle life with regards to that. I'll just bring this. Next, I have the obligatory lightning cable to go along with my phone charger right there. Some chapstick. It is a must when you're outside all the time and licking your lips, and it's just good protection for your lips. And then finally, the most important thing in this pocket is my rosary. And this rosary is really special to me. It's one that I had ordered for myself. It's made by Rugged Rosaries. I will give them a shout out. Again, not a paid endorsement of any kind, but they make solid, amazing, excellent rosaries. You can pick out, it's made out of the military paracord, and you can choose the color that you want for your paracord. You can choose the style of beads you want. You can choose the style of crucifix. You can add on medals, the whole thing. They are just amazing rosaries and a great company to go and support, so highly recommend y'all go check them out and support them. Moving right along, let's get right here. I have a top pocket right here, and I don't have a whole lot in here. Actually, I lied. I do have my phone. This is my iPhone, so that's what I'll have with me that's really for my entertainment, for my video, for files. It's my mobile computer, if you will, because I'm not bringing an iPad, I'm not bringing a computer while I'm on the Camino. And then the last thing that's in here are a pair of sunglasses. They're just real cheap plastic sunglasses that I don't mind. They've already been scratched up. I can scratch them up, and if I lose them, I'm out of just a $5 pair of sunglasses. Okay, the only other thing that's on the outside of the bag is right down here. This is my sleeping bag right here. I just purchased it. I've never used this sleeping bag, to be honest, full disclosure. But the main reason why I bought this is because of the form factor being so tiny. I mean, look at this. Look how small this is. And I could tighten this up even more with these straps to make this even smaller. I was going to say more smaller, but that's not a right word. But even smaller than this, but that is plenty small to hook up on the outside of my bag. So I'll let y'all know how this sleeping bag goes while I'm on the Camino, but definitely bring a good sleeping bag. And depending on what time of the year you go, you may need something a little bit heavier to keep you warmer, or something lighter, especially if you're going during the summer, just to cover yourself up but not sweat through the night. All right, back to the main bag here, and I'm gonna lay it flat like this. Move this out of the way. And so now we're gonna get into the main part here. I gotta unbuckle these. The other nice thing about this bag is it's waterproof. It's got a waterproof top right here. Most of this all over is nice and waterproof, so if it is raining while I'm going along, it shouldn't get too bad. But I also have a poncho in here that I can cover up myself and the bag to make sure it's foolproof. So the other cool thing about this bag is I can get from the top section here. If I untie this part here, I can loosen that up and I can get in from the top, but it also has a nice zipper down here to get access down here. So if I've got a lot of stuff in there, I don't want to have to pull everything out. I can just unzip, grab from the bottom or the top. I have this nice little elastic band here, and this is a little pouch. I don't have a ton of stuff in this pouch, but I do have some things just so y'all can see. I have my toiletry bag. And as you can see, my toiletry bag is just a plain Ziploc baggie. Do not bring a nice toiletry bag. Just get yourself a big gallon-sized Ziploc and just stuff all your toiletries. On top of my toiletries, which is actually another littler bag, if you will, shampoo, conditioner, comb, toothpaste, toothbrush, also a lot of toilet paper. It's good to bring a lot of toilet paper. I just unrolled a whole bunch from my own, but you can get them from, you know, the dollar section, travel section. I also have some ibuprofen for my aches, pains, headaches, all that good stuff. The other thing too is I have a little tiny, and it's hard to see, I'm not gonna pull it all out, but I've got a little tiny pill bottle that it's empty, but I threw in a bunch of stuff for the tummy, whether I can't make it stop or I'm unable to start. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so I've got my deodorant, I've got tissues, so that's also an additional backup for tissue paper, but also if my nose is running, and then a little mini first aid kit for Band-Aids, Neosporin, all the just very bare scrapes, scratches, anything that may pop up. I've got that all right here, and this nice handy dandy bag. I think there's only one more thing in here. Yep, this is my personal leather journal right here, and this is where I'm keeping all of my prayer intentions. I also will journal part of the journey in my pilgrimage, but also everyone that's asked me to pray for them leading up, I'm writing them down in here. So if you would like for me to pray for you in here and make sure I keep your prayer intentions in my mind and in my heart while I am visiting churches and shrines and just walking and praying, please leave a comment down below. If it's a little too personal, just shoot me a message and I will write it down and I'll keep you guys in my prayers. I'll keep you in my prayers regardless in a general sense, but if you have a specific prayer, let me know. Okay, so I think that's it for oh, actually, sorry, there's one other cool part with this top part is I've got the inside compartment right here. And what is in here is completely optional. This is a total luxury item, if you will. I was totally debating about whether bringing this or not. I kept flip-flopping back and forth, but I knew I was gonna kick myself if I didn't bring it, just for the chance of at least one time using it, which is, of course, my drone. It's the DJI. This is just the Mavic Air, and you guys have seen the footage from previous videos. If you haven't, go check out some of my previous videos. I'll try to put something up above right now from a video that I've done some aerial shots for this, and it's great because, I mean, it's so tiny. It's a little heavy, especially when every ounce counts. That rhymes, I didn't mean to. Anyways, when every ounce matters in your bag, because you're carrying this, I'm carrying this for over 60 miles. I was debating if I really wanted to have all this weight and just the stress and worry about bringing this and all that, but at the end of the day I was like, yeah, if I can get some killer aerial shots, I'm gonna do it. I'm into the last part, which is the biggest part, and some of these clothes that are in here is actually what I'm gonna be wearing the day of I leave, so it'll make this bag even smaller as far as the amount of stuff that's in here. Before I share those real quick, I wanted to tell y'all, because I'm afraid that my bag's gonna be too big and I'm afraid the airlines is gonna say, you need to check that, sir, and I'm gonna be begging and they're like, sorry, you gotta check it. I've got a backup plan. What I've done is I've packed a nice drawstring bag, and in this bag has all of my absolute essentials that I wouldn't mind having, because again, God forbid, if I were to lose my main bag due to airline luggage troubles, they get it, I lose it, or not, I don't lose it, but the airlines loses it. I still want to have the absolute essentials while still be able to carry things while I'm walking and while this is catching up to me. So I'm gonna dig into this bag first to show you what is the essential bag within my main bag. Okay, so in my main essential bag here, I've got the following things. Number one is my rain jacket. This is just a Nike rain jacket, and it's good for running. It's great, it's water resistant, it's got some good pockets, and most importantly, it'll keep me warm enough, but not too warm, and it'll keep me dry, which is always very important. Next, I've got my extra pair of socks. I'll be wearing my, a pair of socks, but it's always good to have an additional pair just in case if they get wet or I just need a new pair of socks. Next, I've got basically another change of clothes. So I've got a pair of shorts right there, and then I've got a shirt right here. So that way, and really all I'm bringing is two athletic t-shirts, one that I'll be wearing on the day of, and then this one, so that way I can alternate back and forth, because I'm only honestly walking 4, maybe 5 days total. So if I alternate them, I'm only wearing it twice. I've checked the weather. It's not too hot, so I'm not too worried about doing that. Obviously, if you're doing the Camino much longer, you're gonna wanna bring some laundry detergent, or they do the travel stuff where you can even do it in a bag. That's what I would recommend, but since I'm only gonna be walking a few days and I can alternate, I'm not gonna worry about bringing any laundry detergent or anything like that, but this is my other shirt. Next is my water pouch thing. This is from World Youth Day when I went to Rio. It's got a nice little carabiner, but also the nice thing is it's a plastic, so if it's out of water or whatever, I can just roll it up and it gets nice and small, and then I can take the top off, refill it, hang it on my bag, hang it on this bag, whatever, and drink and sip. And there's, I've been reported, I'll know once I get there, but apparently there's a lot of water stations along the way where I can just continue to refill this. Next is sort of I call this my electronics bag, if you will. So again, another Ziploc baggie, and I don't know if y'all can see this right here, but in this, I have all the essential electronics that I need to carry with me. I have some of my extra batteries for my camera. I've got a portable battery charger. It's a 6,000 milliamp portable charger from Anker. It's phenomenal. I've also have a extension. It's a power surge protector. I love this thing. It has a few outlets, like regular outlets, but it also has the USB outlets, which is really I'm going to be using mostly. This right here, I know it's kind of hard to see through the plastic, but this white thing right here, this is not only a converter, because I'm in Europe, but also an adapter. And the nice thing with an adapter converter combo, it's all in one package, but it also will be able to convert the voltage, ampage, so that way none of my electronics will explode on me. And it's all packaged in a nice, neat, compact package. And that way I don't have to carry around converters and adapters and everything. It's all in one, easy travel companion. And then I think the last thing in this bag to really talk about is this right here, this cable. And this cable, the nice thing about the cable, it's a chiffon multi-purpose cable. So that way, instead of having 6 different cables, one for micro USB, one for USB, one for lightning, it's all in one package to where I can charge up my phone, I can charge up batteries, I can charge up my cameras, whatever is thrown at me, I can charge. And if I have another pilgrim that comes to me, I can, if they ask me, hey, do you have a charger I can borrow, I can have them plug into mine and charge their device all at once. The last thing that's really in my essential bag is some money. It's always good to obviously to have some currency wherever you're going. So I've got some euros, and it's also good to kind of spread it around in various secret places, so that way you have it in different locations. I have some in my passport, I have some in my essential bag, and I'll have some others in a few other key places that I'm not gonna tell you. But the last thing besides that is this microfiber towel. Again, I just bought this. I'll let you know how it works and if it's a good buy or not. I got it off Amazon. It had great reviews, so that's kind of what I preface it on. But the reason why you want a microfiber towel instead of a regular towel, is see how thin that is as a towel. This towel is nice and big. It's 24 by 48 inches. So it's plenty big for my body. And the other nice thing is it's a microfiber towel in that once I dry, I can let it hang and it will dry very quickly, rapidly. So that way, if I take a shower at night, by that morning when I'm leaving, it's still not sopping wet. It's nice and dry. I can roll it up, put it back in the bag, and be on my way. Okay, so I'm back in my main bag here, and 2 things I'm gonna be bringing with me. One is a beanie for my head when it gets a little chilly, because I've been checking the weather, and it looks like it'll be kind of chilly in the morning and then warm up during the daytime, so keep my head warm. And then, obviously, a bandana is always a good thing to have for sweat, for anything, for protection. But obviously, if you're gonna be representing, you gotta be representing the great state of Texas here. So that's my Texas bandana I'll be taking with me. Boom. So some of the stuff, like I said, I'm gonna be wearing while I'm heading out, just so that way it's not in my bag. and I'll be ready to go. So one is a hoodie. So this is my Franciscan hoodie, my alma mater, go Barons. And I actually last weekend when I was doing my last big training day, it was really, really cold. I think the high was 38 degrees, a little bit of spitting rain, just miserable weather. And all I did was like, I gotta wear exactly what I would bring and make sure I'm warm enough. So between wearing a t-shirt, the hoodie, and my Nike jacket, I was plenty warm. The only thing that was really cold on me were my hands. But other than that, I was fine. So I know now that I'll be okay. The best rule of thumb, especially if you're a runner or if you're, heavy hiking like this, what they'll tell you is wear clothes that as if it was roughly 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what it really is outside. So that way you don't get overheated because you're going to be exerting a lot of energy. So just a good rule of thumb to know. So next thing is my long pants. Again, if it seems like the forecast is going to be much colder, or if I just want to wear pants instead of my shorts. Next is going to be my other shirt that I'll be wearing obviously the day of. Next is my poncho. Now I'm not going to pull this out. Again, I bought this. I just got this one. The reason why I got this one because it was larger than the one I previously have or I currently have, and the other reason why is it's bright orange because I want to stick out like a sore thumb just for safety in general. Getting to the last little bit here. Here are my other pair of running shorts, and the reason why I like these shorts is because they have a nice lining inside of it, kind of almost tight like. So that way it prevents chafing and all that nasty stuff, especially when you're out running or walking a lot of miles. Speaking of prevention of chafing and all that bad stuff around that area, I'm also bringing a pair of bicycle shorts. Now, this is kind of an optional thing. You guys know your body better than I do, but I know after long periods of times could be a chance of that. So any type of spandex like bicycle shorts or tights or anything like that you feel comfortable wearing that will help prevent those type of things, definitely bring them. You'll thank yourself later. I think I'm just doing this blindly, but I think this is the last piece of clothing that I'm bringing, which is a pair of khaki pants. This will help if I'm going to mass on Sundays or whenever I get to the cathedral and I want to look a little bit nicer than just my running pants. Now again, we're pilgrims, you wear what you wear, but this way it's a little bit nicer. Or if I'm going if I get to my hostel and I just want to kind of spend the rest of the evening, I want to go to a restaurant or something, I can look a little bit nicer in these pants than some of the other stuff. And then the last couple of things that I have in here, number one is a big bag of food. Now, this food is basically nuts, granola, protein bars, and yeah, that's really it. So peanuts, cashews, and then some protein bars for whenever, wherever I'm at. I've got plenty of food with me to keep me going on top of going to restaurants and stuff like that. And really the last thing that I think I feel in here are my sandals. Now, I have some Birkenstock sandals, and actually I forgot, I put in here to save some space, if you can see. I've got my other pair of socks, so I've got at least 3 pairs of socks, and then on top of that, just in case if my feet and my calves are feeling really sore, I'm bringing a pair of compression socks. These go up to my knee, and if y'all have never had compression socks before, first of all, they are a pain in the behind to put on. Okay, they are super tight and it takes 15 minutes to put on one sock. But I will say, once you got them on, they feel amazing, especially again if you have really tired muscles. And If you wear them overnight, they work even better. The next day, your muscles feel better because they help keep your muscle compressed while relaxing it. And so that way your muscle doesn't have that soreness the next day. So they can also be used as a regular sock. You can wear these whether you're running or in my case walking. So if I just feel physically like I need to wear them, or if I'm too tired and I don't want to take them off because they're hard to get off sometimes, I can do that. So some pair of compression socks. But going back to my sandals, these are Birkenstocks. These are some of my favorite pairs of Birkenstocks, some of my favorite pair of sandals. I wore a pair of Birkenstock sandals while doing Crossroads. It's a pro-life walk across America. And at first I started in a pair of shoes and I kept getting so many blisters that I was like, forget this. So I ended up buying a pair of Birkenstocks and I instantly fell in love with them. I got 0 blisters from that point on because my toes were able to kind of get air as I was walking and keep them spread out. They weren't so close together, rubbing and creating those blisters. They are pretty hard on your feet at first because your foot has to form the inside of the sandal, but once it does and it finds that, it gives it that nice perfect arch for your foot. And yeah, I just love them, and it's a nice rugged material on the bottom. I'm not gonna lie, there may be a day, maybe more, that I might wear these while I'm walking the Camino. So, you'll have to stay tuned to see if that actually comes to fruition. Well, that is it. That is everything that I'm taking with me, or that I'll be wearing, that I'll be going with while I'm on the Camino. It may sound like a lot. It kind of is, but it really isn't. There's only really 1, 2, 3. There's only like 2 or 3 items that I would probably remove outside of that, especially given the weight, given the size and the scope. But let me know in the comments what y'all think. If you think of anything that I may be forgetting, let me know. I think the only thing that's not in here right now currently is an eye mask that I'm planning on bringing. I left that. I don't know where I put that. I'm gonna have to go find that. But especially on the plane ride, but also when I'm out. Oh, also in my kind of my first aid kit in that bag, I also have a pair of earplugs for the ears, especially if I'm sleeping in a room full of other people that maybe snores. That will help drown out the sound. And an eye mask for the light. Yeah, I think that's it. So let me know what y'all think. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any prayer intentions, please submit them as soon as possible. I'm going to put this video up today, Sunday. I'm going to try to put this up today so that way I can get your prayer intentions in before I leave on Tuesday. Stick around. I don't know when I'll be uploading videos for the Camino, but if I can, I will definitely try while I'm there. But if I can't, be assured, I will be doing it as soon as I get back. And may God bless you. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.